media options, it's become a major problem for advertisers to get. There is a solution, however, and it's called SCG Advertising and Public Relations. SCG is a full-service advertising and public relations agency that can help you navigate through today's and reach your potential customers. SCG understands the options available and will work with you to determine the best creative and media plan for your business. Visit us at scgadv.com and let us help you tell the world your story. An ex-athlete is waiting to be welcomed into a loving home. There's a greater need to place ex-racing greyhounds into permanent homes than at any time in recent history. That's because of dog racetrack closings across the country. April is National Adopt a Greyhound Month. Visit thegreyhoundproject.org for information on adoption in our area. And taking a look at the Ion weather forecast, tonight some clouds with a low of 52. Tomorrow, variable cloudy.
Mark Sublett, I thought of you yesterday. I had to fill out a security question, and they asked me, what was the first concert you ever went to? And it was Rush with you. How about that? You remember that? Like in 82?
Broadcasting live at WMTRAM.com. And now back to Talking Sports with Jonathan Friedman.
All right, we're back. We're talking sports on a Thursday. Give me a call at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-WMTR, ADSautomotive.com. Also, now, I just wanted to remind people or tell people, I think, by the way, MK, I didn't drop the last caller. Is there somebody on? I don't think I dropped him properly. Okay. Okay, yeah. Have John hold on when we're going to get to him. So just want to let the audience know that you can get us on Facebook. If you friend my name, Jonathan Friedman, I'll accept a quick one and get you on. But we're also now on YouTube coming to you with a YouTube audience. If you just go to YouTube and type in Talking Sports with Jonathan Friedman on a Thursday, you'll get us on our YouTube channel. So great to have that. Great to be with you guys tonight. And quickly, I just looked with about 5 minutes left in the first period. The Devils 0-0 in Tampa Bay. I'll update you on the rest of the games. We'll take a look soon about Major League Baseball and get you updated on the scores. We'll talk about the Mets. I just wanted to quickly throw out also, when Stan Fischler, the guru of hockey, comes out and makes a comment like, he's talking about New Jersey's Devil, Taylor Hall, who, by the way, you talk about ripping off another team in regards to getting a quality pet player. When they got him from Edmonton, boy, did that work out. He feels that Taylor Hall turned this franchise around, putting together an MVP type caliber season. He racked up 93 points in 76 games, scoring 39 times, assisting on 54 goals. At 26, Hall is finally competing in his first postseason after 8 years in the NHL, and he totally thinks he deserves to be the Hart Trophy winner. And what a great thing for New Jersey. And Taylor Hall is the one of 4 New Jersey Devils of all time who had 94 points and above in the season. And that goes back all the way to the Colorado Rockies. The last one, I believe, was Patrick Elias about 10 years ago or so. But what a great accomplishment. Let's go Devils. They'll be back in town. Let's see, it's tonight and Saturday night in Tampa Bay. And then it'll Saturday, then Monday, Wednesday in New Jersey. So give us a call on the ADS Automotive Diagnostic Services call-in line at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-WMTR. I'll tell you what, let's go to John in Morristown. John, you're on Talking Sports on a Thursday.
Yeah, John, kind of missed you last week.
Yeah.
Maybe the radio was broken.
No, I'm sorry. I got my timing mixed up or whatever, and my wife just happened to remind me on Tuesday, oh, by the way, you don't have the show this week. It's the end of Passover. And I went, oh, boy, and I forgot to get it. And then, so I'm really sorry about that, and it's great to be back here tonight.
No, that's okay. I thought maybe you were just on the sister station here. You had me scared.
Yeah, no, that's Tuesday night. That one I was able to make, though. But great to be there. What's happening, John?
I'll tell you, Sunday we went to China Buffet down in Bridgewater, and they had a big 60 70th.
Oh, that's
birthday party.
that's a happy birthday to you, buddy. I told you were going to be around for that birthday, and another 20 of them at least.
I did it. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. And I keep promising I'm going to get down there and get that signal for you for the other station. I'm going to do it this week. I didn't write down the place where you were, and then I just couldn't make it happen. But I promise you, this week I'll get over there and somehow get online, figure out what we can do for you there.
Oh, okay. Because right now I'm watching the game as I'm talking to you. I got the game on. Yes, right now.
Yeah, and what do you think about last night in that brawl? Are you not allowed to slide and break up a play at second base anymore? Is that the case?
That was unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I was watching when that guy there pitched for the Red Sox. He had a severe bloody nose where they had to take him out of the seventh inning.
And I don't know if you saw in the Colorado game earlier in the day, you had where somebody hit a batter and he charged him out, and the Colorado pitcher took his glove and he went to throw it at the guy as he's charging him. And he missed him, and the glove went all the way back to the backstop. I never saw anybody throw a glove that far in my life, but
kind of funny. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I was watching that, but I thought it was part of the act.
Yeah. No act there. So, and Major League Baseball right now has got to send out a press release to all these teams. We can't have this brawling going on. Someone's going to get hurt and hurt bad. These guys aren't boxers or baseball players, so they got to stay away from that. And you get hit by a pitch, run down to first base, cut it out. That's enough. That's how baseball's played. And yes, there was a problem in the Yankee game where, from what I'm told, you can't come up with your spikes. Sometimes you don't mean to do it, but the way he approached the base and how he got the base and where the shortstop was, I didn't find a problem with it. And, you want to break up a double play. That's what it's all about. So, and maybe I'm too old school, but that's the case. And anyway, so it is what it is.
Yeah. I was watching that. I was watching where that guy steals quite a bit on the New York team. Boy, he takes a mighty big chance when he's doing that.
Sure does. He sure does. But it's going to be
do that.
And as I said on the sister station on Tuesday night, stop panicking, Yankee fans. That's ridiculous. I don't care what your record is. It's April. I don't start looking at the standings seriously until July. July 31st is when we start to crank it up, and that's when other teams start to crank it up. So
I start getting involved with the World Series. Exactly.
Yeah. So, they're just feeling their way out right now, and they're freaking out about Stanton. He's seeing a whole new pitching in the American League. It's cold. It's easy. Stop. And the same thing with Mets fans, and they should be excited, but we got a long way to go, and there's ebbs and flows throughout the season. So anyway, so that's the deal. Hey, John, I'm going to move on, but we'll talk to you soon. And again, I apologize for last week, buddy. All right, keep listening. We'll talk to you soon. You got it. All right. So we'll take a look quick at the NHL playoffs. As you know, and we'll keep you updated. MK, if you wouldn't mind, just go to NHL.com and see if you can get us a double score of 0-0 with 5 minutes left before, but it may have scored. So we got New Jersey, Tampa Bay. We got Boston, Toronto, Washington, Columbus, and Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. And Pittsburgh put a spanking on Philadelphia last night. It's 7-0. You better save some of those goals. I mean, that's a lot. In the Western Conference, you got Nashville and Colorado. The Predators are for real. Let me tell you something. You got Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets in franchise history got their first win. The former Atlanta Thrashers got their first playoff win as the Winnipeg Jets. They beat Minnesota last night. The Vegas Golden Knights, they beat the LA Kings last night. And Anaheim and San Jose get underway. When you're talking hockey, and you're talking postseason hockey, there's nothing better. I mean, seriously, there is just nothing better than postseason hockey. I'm looking forward to getting home and watching the rest of the game tonight. So it should be a really doozy. And again, when Stan Fischler tells you that Taylor Hall should be the Hart Trophy winner, there's nobody more of a guru in hockey than Stan Fischler. So and forget that he used to be involved with the Devils and all that kind of stuff. He's the real deal. And what a great year for Taylor Hall. And what a great year for the New Jersey Devils. And whatever happens, listen, the pressure's on Tampa Bay. They're the 1 seed. So whatever happens over this series, if they end up not winning the series, it's an accomplishment. You take steps along the way. And when you do that, things work out. So it's a process like anything else. You start from ground zero and you go up. So there's going to be a lot a lot of good hockey that's going to come our way in the next few weeks. Also, we'll take a look at the NBA is all settled of who's playing who. We're going to take a look at that. I got to tell you, I can't remember a year in the NBA where if an 8 was to beat a 1, it may not shock you. If a 2 was to lose to a 7, it may not shock you. That's how, as I call it, juicy the NBA playoffs are going to be this year. We'll go through all of that. About Patrick Reed last week in the Masters, and we didn't get to touch on that. I'll touch on it real quickly. Had a great day on Friday, had a great day on Saturday, goes into Sunday with a 3-4 stroke lead. He's got the guy who's playing with him, Rory McIlroy, trying to intimidate him in the press conference. And when, I believe at the 14th or 15th hole on Sunday, when he hit the birdie, you knew he had it wrapped up, and what a great thing. I mean, you got guys chasing him that are quality players. And on the other part that I thought was positive, although Tiger ended up not great, but, 1 over on Thursday. On Sunday, he shot a 69. So with him, it's a process. Nobody expected him. And of course he wasn't going to win the Masters, but he's getting it back together. Slowly but surely, he's getting it back together. And that's great for golf because golf is loaded. I mean, absolutely loaded with great players now. So wonderful for golf. It should be a great summer of golf. Should be a great summer of baseball. We're going to talk when we come back from the break. We'll talk about the New York Mets and the start that they have gotten off to. Who would have thought that the New York Mets, well, I kind of did only because of their pitching. And we'll talk about, we had that NorthJersey.com guy on who's the beat writer. He didn't think, he thought Washington would run away with this thing. I don't think Washington's going to run away with anything. So we'll see what happens with that. But even the Atlanta Braves are playing well right now. They're 2 games over 500. So lots going on. And if you're a Marlin fan, you just got to hang in there. You're going to have to hang in there. They're doing it the right way, though. You got to start over, grow organically, and you'll go from there. And in 4 years, 3 years, whatever, the Marlins will be competitive again. So give us a call on the ADS Automotive Diagnostic Services call-in line at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267 WMTR, ADSautomotive.com. And if Frank is listening to us, the owner of ADS Automotive, Frank, we're going to get you in studio soon. Listen, what you do and the great quality work that you do. So I keep forgetting to call you and tell you that, but if you're listening to that, and I'm sure you are, we're going to get you in here real soon. I think your kids and your wife and everybody get a kick out of that. So that would be great. So anyway, we got a lot to go over. I also want to go over that Andre the Giant thing. We'll talk about Colin Kaepernick, who the Seattle Seahawks invited him to camp. And he said, I'd love to come to camp, but I'm still going to kneel at these games. And I'm shocked. You know what? You don't have to kneel. Just sit there and do nothing. Now that you've already established what you're fighting for, now you can do it on your off days. Now you can throw rallies. Now you can do this. Now you don't need to kneel on the football field. And when he shows me that or makes a comment like that, it makes me feel like he really doesn't want to play football. Really? You're going to not take the invite or have them resend their invite because you've told them you're going to kneel at games. Come on. And then on the other side of it, which is really crazy, Colin Kaepernick's lawyers have sued the NFL for blackmailing him or shutting him out of the league, which good luck proving that. As you're allowed to do what you do with kneeling, they're allowed not to hire you. That's just the way it is in our society. That's the First Amendment right there. So you can't have it both ways, but you're getting an opportunity, a great opportunity to back up Russell Wilson in an offense in a division and you're going to tell them that you're going to kneel because, again, you've already established the deal. Now you get to, on off days, get rallies going in Seattle, this, that, or whatever. And when you're working on Sunday, you just stand there. You don't have to do anything. Just stand there. Come on. It shows me, are you really serious about being an NFL player? I mean, I don't want to hear that that this has happened to him and that no one will hire him. But then when this scenario, somebody takes the chance on him, you pull that nonsense. Come on. I mean, seriously, you and I would love the opportunity to do this. And if we felt the same way that he did, we wouldn't handle that way. We would just stand there during the anthem. It's not. And if his lawyer or his agent isn't say to him, Colin, you're about to make another contract here. You're going to be on a good team. What are you doing? I mean, you've already sent the message. That's what you're not understanding. You've already sent the message, and that's frustrating. And it's the perfect. That's what I don't get. So, what can you tell? What can I tell you? I mean, that's just absolutely crazy. So, and as I told you earlier, Jeff Hornacek was he was let go, and I got to tell you, the perfect guy for that job. When we come back from the break, how far we got from a break there? Okay, we got 2 minutes. So, I'll tease you. I think, or I'm not going to tease you. I'll just tell you. I think, and where the Knicks are now, and if the organization was to be patient and the fans were to be patient and they could grow a little bit organically, Mark Jackson's the perfect guy for it. And people seem to forget, and not taking anything away from Steve Kerr. Mark Jackson started this Golden State team. Mark Jackson grew these kids. And the minute he left, I guess he had a disagreement with management, whatever it was, they won the next year. And Kerr, good coach, no doubt about it, great communicator. They matured at that point. But you got to give Mark Jackson a lot of that credit for what he did. So I just think because he's a New York guy, he was a New York Knick, and he's a smart guy, and he probably knows how to get through to these young kids. But, the organization's got to make a commitment to be bad for 3 years and let their fans know, be honest with their fans, let them know, because I got to tell you, the other coaches out there, I wouldn't want that job. It's not that sexy of a job anymore. Yes, it's Madison Square Garden. Yes, it's the New York Knicks. But other than that, there's not much to it. Who wants to lose every night? I mean, that's not fun. I mean, that's just absolutely not fun. So anyway, so they'll be looking for a new head coach. And again, I hope this Jay Wright guy does not take that job. That's just not you're iconic in college basketball. Don't ruin it. You can name 10 guys that have done that, and their careers have gone downhill, and it just never worked out. I mean, a whole bunch of them. Don't do it. You're an iconic guy. You're as iconic, obviously, as Raleigh Massimino was in Villanova. So you don't need to do it. You shouldn't do it. And you've just built a great program there. And anyway, give us a call on the ADS Automotive Diagnostic Services call-in line at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-WMTR. ADS Automotive. When we come back, we'll get you updated on the Devils in Tampa Bay in Game 1. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball, get you some scores. You're listening to Talking Sports on a Thursday with me, John Friedman. Give us a call at 973-267-WMTR. ADSautomotive.com. We'll be right back. Friedman. You might know me as the host of Talking Sports here on WMTR, but I do have a day job. I'm the Business Development Director at SCG Advertising and Public Relations in Parsippany, and I'd like to tell you about how SCG can help advertisers reach their potential customers in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. There are so many options from all the traditional media. 2-0. All right. When I come back from the break, I'll say, MK, what's the score in Tampa Bay? And if you want to look up MLB.com, see if there's anybody playing in baseball. MLB.com. We understand the options available to advertisers, and we will work with you to determine the best creative and media plan for your business. To learn more about SCG Advertising and Public Relations by visiting scgadd.com. That's scgadd.com. We'll help you reach your potential customers, all of them. Hi, I'm Chris with Cash Call Mortgage. With today's rising home values and low mortgage rates, we're doing refinances with no closing costs to let you pull out tens of thousands in cash. Use that cash. Go to YouTube and type in Talking Sport. I see the score. I know. MK just won. Type in Talking Sports with Jonathan Friedman on Thursday. Go to YouTube and type that in. You can get another tab on your computer if you know how to do that. And just see how it looks on your computer or whatever. And give it a check or whatever. Give it a like. With great fixed rates with absolutely no closing costs. None. Your house is your bank. So make a cash call Sure. Any of them that come up. You'll scroll across the top. Any games that are underway. Okay, great.
That's 855-875-TAG. Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. Every Army National Guard member serves not only to protect the nation, but also their local community. So they each have a stake in the security and well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues.
Robert Copeland has joined the party. Thanks for watching. Periods. 3 periods. 3.
Broadcasting live from the Hilltop Nissan Studios, Classic Oldies, WMTR Morristown, a Beasley Media Group station.
All right, we're back. We're talking sports on a Thursday. Give me a call on the ADS Automotive Diagnostic Services call-in line at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-WMTR, ADSautomotive.com. All right, MK, now that I've told you that there's 3 periods in hockey and not... Oh, that's you made my night with that question. That's great. All right, MK, update us. How about giving us an update on the Devils? And let's take a look, if you can, update us on Major League Baseball.
Okay, well, after the first period, it's the Lightning over the Devils 2-0. Okay, innings I understand. And I also understand that at the bottom of the second, Boston is over the Yanks 4-0.
Ooh.
Not too good.
Panic.
Panic in Detroit. Sorry, David Bowie there. Bottom of the third, it's Colorado over Washington 3-0.
Yes.
Over the fourth, Cincinnati over St. Louis 4-3. And let's see, we just finished the 5th inning. It's Cleveland over Detroit 9-1. All
right, we'll check with you after the other break there. And so, as you heard from MK, who now knows that there's the Devils are down 2-0. Long way to go. Don't get into a panic mode. Long way to go. And as you know, Kincaid is in goal. Corey Schneider was going into the season the #1 guy, had some injuries. Kincaid took advantage of that situation and played great down the stretch. So the Devils were left with no other scenario but to play him. So let's see what happens. Didn't see the play. Didn't know if it was a power play or if someone wants to tell us on Facebook or whatever. And also, by the way, if you want to get us and you can't get us at WMTRAM.com, which you could do that. Or we've developed a Talking Sports page on YouTube. You can just type in Talking Sports with Jonathan Friedman, and you'll get us right there on our YouTube channel. So great to be there. Great to be on Facebook. If you friend me on Facebook, we'll put your I'll click that quickly and get you on there. So let's take a quick look at the NBA playoffs. And I got to tell you, not technically, but they started last night with Minnesota and Denver. And what a game that was. Denver took the lead to force overtime with about 10 seconds left in the game. And what a game back and forth. And it was the first time I had gotten to see this Murray kid in Denver. Wow. He should be rookie of the year. Crazy. I mean, he's really, really good in a big spot. And Minnesota, all that young talent they have now, it's been 13 years since that organization has gone to the playoffs, and they're there now, and they're going to be facing the Houston Rockets, a tough task. And we'll take a look right now. Let's start in the Eastern Conference, where you're going to have this is what I'm talking about. You got seed, and they're going to play the Washington Wizards. 2 great guards against 2 great guards. And I got to tell you, that's one of those ones where if Washington as the 8th seed was to knock off Toronto, then you wouldn't be shocked. I mean, at the bottom line is you really wouldn't be shocked. Then you've got in the 4 or 5 game seeds, you got Cleveland and Indiana. That's a juicy one. And then you got everybody's favorite team right now, the Philadelphia 76ers. They got a tough matchup now. They're the 3 seed. They're going to play the Miami Heat. And with Whiteside and some of the other players they have on that team, they're going to give Philadelphia fits only because they probably have a little bit more experience. But the young guns of Philadelphia, this Ben Simmons, let me tell you something. The guy's, what is he, 6'8". He can put the ball on the floor. He can rebound. There's not much that he can't do. And now, even though he's not technically a rookie, although he actually is a rookie because he was hurt his real rookie season. Plus, they've got this kid that they drafted who's been playing well. And as you know, their center's wearing a mask. He had broken his face. So he'll be playing in the playoffs. But, listen, great season for them. They won 51 or 52 games, 20 games over 500. Phenomenal season. And again, if they don't win this series, it's okay. It's part of the process. But because some people have them going into the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm like, whoa. And again, I don't want to take away from them. They played great. They did what a lot of teams are doing, where they start fresh. They've had some first-round picks for a while, and they've just done a really great job. Their coach has done a great job. I didn't even know, by the way, that, for example, that Ilyasova plays for them now. I didn't know the Atlanta Hawks had released him. So they got a nice team, Philadelphia. That's going to be an exciting series. All of the series are going to be really good. And the Boston Celtics, they got a tough matchup too, and it's unfortunate. Oh, too bad. Because you know how I feel about the Boston Celtics. Kyrie Irving out. New Jersey's own Kyrie Irving's got knee issues and had to have surgery. They lost Hayward to start the season with that terrible leg injury. That was 2/5 of their starting lineup. So, it's unfortunate. So it's going to be tough for Boston, who, without a quality point guard, it's going to be a tough situation. But they could probably get by Milwaukee in the Greek Freak. We're going to find out about that. So that's the Eastern Conference. Let's take a look at the Western Conference. We got Houston and Minnesota. That's a doozy. And no, Minnesota's not going to be Houston. Nobody's going to be Houston in the Western Conference, in my opinion. But it's still going to be competitive. Now, here's the series I want. I want to see Russell Westbrook make the other guys on his team better. They're the 4 seed, and they're playing the Utah Jazz. I bet you if we get a caller or on YouTube or on Facebook, you can't name me, because I can't name you 5 Utah Jazz players. So what a great job they did. They're 48-34. So that's that series. I want to see what Russell Westbrook, who's everybody's Mr. Triple-Double, but I want to see him make Paul George better. I want to see him make Carmelo Anthony better, because now is how you're going to be judged. Right now is how you're going to be judged. So we'll see about the Oklahoma City Thunder. We got in the 3-6 spot, we got the Portland Trailblazers. There's another team. I can't name many players on that team. They're going to play the Pelicans, which is a tough out, by the way. When you got to play Anthony Davis, that's a tough out. And don't forget, in the NBA playoffs, it all slows down. If you don't have a half-court offense, you're in trouble. It's not up and down. It's not a race. They're not going to slow down, low-scoring games. And I really hope that referees let these guys play. Let them play. Don't do the technical 1, you hurt him, or technical 2. Let these guys play. If a guy has an open layup and you do the old Johnny tackle, which is not really a tackle, it's just to make sure you don't score, that's the case. You put them at the foul line to make them make 2 free throws. So, anyway, I mean, that's the way you really got to go about doing that. So, also, we got Golden State, and listen to this. We got Golden State, who's the 2 seed. They're going to play the 7 seed, the San Antonio Spurs. That's a great series. Golden State's going to be tough. Now, Curry's ankle, he's not going to play in this series. I don't think he's hurting. And, do they have what it takes to get through a conference? Do they have with it? Now, they got Durant, so that's like having 3 guys. So we're going to see what kind of heart they got, and injuries catch up with you too. So we'll talk. We'll take a look at that. All right, MK, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, the rest of Major League Baseball. We'll go through the standings, and we'll fill you in on the New Jersey Devils and the rest of hockey. You're listening to Talking Sports on a Thursday with me, John Friedman. Give me a call at 973-267-WMTR. We'll be right back.
ocean.edu. With all of today's traditional digital and social media options, it's become a major problem for advertisers to get their message in front of the right audience. There is a solution, however, and it's called SCG, Advertising and Public Relations. SCG is a full-service advertising and public relations agency that can help you navigate through today's chaotic media landscape and reach your potential customers. SCG understands the options available and will work with you to determine the best creative and media plan for your business. Visit us at scgadv.com and let us help you tell the world your story. An ex-athlete is waiting to be welcomed into a loving home. There's a greater need to place ex-racing greyhounds into permanent homes than at any time in recent history. That's because of dog racetrack closings across the country. April is National Adopt a Greyhound Month. Visit thegreyhoundproject.org for information on adoption in our area. And the Ion weather forecast tonight, some clouds with a low of 52. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness with a high of 78. And on Saturday, the better day of the weekend, it will be mostly sunny with a high of 77. We will have rain on Sunday and Monday. And we are at 52 degrees at the broadcast park at AM 1250, Classicoli's WMTR, and at WMTRAM.com. And now back to talking sports with Jonathan Friedman.
All right, we're back. We're talking sports on a Thursday. Give me a call at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-WMTR, ADSautomotive.com. All right, I quickly wanted to touch on, if you have HBO, and unfortunately I don't, I guess I'll have to wait for it to come on YouTube and whatever, because I really want to see it. They've done a documentary. Bill Simmons, the former guy at ESPN, really incredible writer, did a documentary on Andre the Giant. And if you were a kid in the 70s, like I was, Andre the Giant was the best. And I can remember my brother, my middle brother and I would be Saturday night in front of that television at 6 o'clock. We'd be watching Georgia Championship Wrestling or the WCW or whatever they were called at the time with Gordon Soley. And not every Saturday, but at least every other Saturday, Andre the Giant would make an appearance. He'd be the last guy on the card. And not to be offensive, I'm not being offensive, this is just the way it was. He would either fight another big guy or whatever, or maybe two guys that are not his size, obviously. He was about 7 feet, 450 pounds. But he was a tremendous guy. If you Google him, obviously you'll see him. But he would also have times where he would take on 5. I'm going to try to be politically correct because I don't know how to say it, and I hope I don't cause any problems here. He'd take on 5 smaller people. Let's just say that. He'd take on 5 smaller people, and he would throw them off, and he would do this. He'd do all sorts of things with them. And then when he would go to pin them all, because he's got to pin them all, if it's either one at a time or all at once, he'd get 5 of them on the ground, and he'd just lie on them, and they couldn't get up. So that was always my memory of Andre the Giant, and was in a lot of movies. He was in The Princess Bride. He was Bigfoot, by the way, on The $6 Million Man. So, and he died in 1993. It's already been a long time. He was 46 years old. You know, your heart can't take that. And when you're that size, your organs they just can't sustain living like that. And at the end, they said he was a heavy drinker and stuff, not because of what they would say, catching a buzz or whatever. He was drinking because he had such pain that he was so beaten up. They showed scars on his body, everything. So iconic. And by the way, before the Hulk Hogan's of the world and what have you, there was Andre the Giant. Everybody loved. And there's some, if you go to YouTube and see some interviews with him with other wrestlers, everything, it's hilarious. So to me, he is the guy that really, one of the guys that helped wrestling get to where it is today. So fabulous. MK, any scores for us there? Any updates there on the Devils or Major League Baseball?
Let's see. Middle of the third, it's still Boston 4, Yankees nothing, and no other change as far as baseball is concerned. And I just checked the Devils just a few minutes ago. They were still at the end of the first period.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nothing yet.
All right, let's go Devils. All right, so anyway, we'll take a look at the standings in Major League Baseball, although I generally don't like to do this in this time of year because it's just so early. But maybe there's some patterns out there. We got in the American League East, we got Boston on top with a 9-2 record, followed by Toronto at 8-5, the Yankees at 8-6, Baltimore at 5-8, and Tampa Bay at 3-9. Don't be confused by Tampa Bay because they'll make their run this year, no doubt about that. In the Central in the American League, Minnesota at 6-4, Cleveland at 7-5, Chicago at 4-7, Detroit Tigers at 4-7, and the Kansas City Royals at 3-7. In the West, you got the Angels. Whoa, the Angels at 10-3 with their new Japanese player. And the Houston Astros at 9-4, Seattle at 6-4, Oakland at 5-8, and the Texas Rangers at 4-10. In the National League and in the National League East, the New York Mets at 10-1. And how about the Mets? They've gotten off to a good start. And as I told you, and as I told the beat writer from NJ.com a few weeks ago, if the Mets get starting pitching this season, they will contend for the National League East. And I got to tell you, and it's early. It's very early. But the Washington Nationals do nothing for me. They're boring. They've got Bryce Harper, and they got some other guys. And even their starting pitcher was Strasburg. And, there's just something about that team that's just not there. And I don't know what it is. And their time is starting to come to an end there because they've won 5 years in a row and whatever. And, if they don't get over that hump, they'll break that team up, I got to believe. So very interesting to see that. And the Mets have just gotten fabulous starting pitching. They've gotten timely hitting, and they're getting it done. Now, again, it's early, but they're 10-1, and you can't ignore that. You really can't. So you got the Mets at 10-1, Johnny's Atlanta Braves at 7-5, followed by the Philadelphia Phillies at 6-5, the Washington Nationals at 6-6. It's a nice division all of a sudden. And Miami, going to be a tough year for them at 3-9. In the Central, you've got Pittsburgh at 8-3, and the Chicago Cubs at 6-5. You've got Pittsburgh's gotten off to a nice start too. Milwaukee at 7-6. That's who I picked to win that division. St. Louis at 5-7. And what happened to the Cincinnati Reds? Do you know they haven't been anywhere? They haven't been good since '95, a long time ago. I mean, they just, I don't know what happened to that franchise. In the West, Arizona's 9-3, Colorado is 6-7, San Francisco is 5-6, the LA Dodgers at 4-7, and the San Diego Padres are at 4-9. So that's a look at Major League Baseball. And did anybody notice, by the way, very quietly, and I know they've talked about it on TV, Odell Beckham was in Giants facility this week, working out, staying quiet. And I got to believe that his agent has told him, listen, your payday's coming. Keep your mouth shut, play football, do your job, catch balls. And by October, and I said this, by October, if he's doing his thing and playing well, just catch balls, keep your mouth shut. He'll turn this whole thing around. He'll have Giant fans, saying, we got to get this guy signed. Because from what I understand, and Adam Schefter today from ESPN said that he is not on the trading block anymore. So, and the Giants would never get equal value for him. So it would make absolutely no sense. Your payday is coming. So play football, do your job. And what's going to be interesting in this draft coming up is, from what I understand, the Giants had Barkley in the running back, and they seem to love him. Now, the question is, if that's the case and they need a running back, they've got no running game. They've improved on the offensive line. The window's closing with Eli, but you've got at least another 2 years with Eli. Do you not take a quarterback there and you take the running back and you get a quarterback later in rounds? Something to think about. And if that happens, by the way, that changes the draft tremendously. I mean, tremendously. So that's going to be exciting. The NFL draft right around the corner. We get into mini camps, free agents, and then before you know it, it's August for preseason football, and then we're right into football in September. And man, I just can't wait. Also, last week I picked up on Friday, the New York Post I picked up last week, and they got a really cool section. I've never seen this in a newspaper before, where they'll have, it's a spread, and if you can see it on Facebook or you can see it on YouTube, there's a spread, and it's just sports listings, and it tells you every night for the week, and with some pictures and what have you. It tells you every night what sports is on television and what have you. So I thought that was kind of neat, and I kept it with me. And now I have my little guide for sports so I know every night what the deal is. So in the area or whatever, if you go and get your New York Post, you will see that. Matter of fact, let's take a look and see what else was on tonight on television. That was may be of interest. So we got a lot of things that may be of interest here. First of all, we got a Stanley Cup game, which is the Devils game probably on there. Also, we've got the Pirates and Cubs. That was this afternoon. Rockies and National. That's playing right now on Major League Baseball Network. They had golf today. They have, and the NBA women's draft, the WNBA draft is tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN2 and ESPNU. I don't know much about that draft or the WNBA, but I got to tell you, that league has taken off. They're 20 years old now, that league. I mean, it's crazy how they've established themselves. And I always say, if you make the bottom line on sports tickers, you've come of age. Now, when this new league starts after the NFL season, after the NFL Super Bowl this year, there's a new football league that, not the Vince McMahon one, that's the following season. Will they make the bottom line? Will they be considered a legitimate league and make the bottom line on scores? Will Vince McMahon's league make the bottom line? Will you be able to bet on some of these games in this league that's coming? Will Vegas pick up on that? Little things. That's what gives you credibility, by the way, when you get those type of things. So it should be really, really interesting with the NFL draft and how that's going to go, because it's when you've got, and I got to tell you, if I'm the Giants and I'm the Jets and I'm Cleveland, I'm scared as heck, because most of the Jets and Cleveland, are probably going to take quarterbacks, and you can't mess it up. You just can't mess it. If you mess that up, you set your franchise back so far. I mean, you really do. That's why, for example, if the Jets would have gotten Cousins, it's a shame they didn't. If the Jets would have gotten Cousins, that would have changed everything for them. They wouldn't have had to get a quarterback. And I got to tell you, I'm rooting for the Jets. I'm rooting for Teddy Bridgewater. They signed him to a $500,000 contract. Doesn't cost them anything. Are they going to get lightning out of a bottle with him, where they could draft a quarterback and let him sit and learn? And from what I understand, he was almost ready to go last year in Minnesota. I'm sure he's passed physicals in regards to for the Jets even to sign him. So, boy, wouldn't that be great if the Jets could get a break and Teddy Bridgewater got back to playing football, quality football? That would be really, really wonderful for the Jets if that could happen. But we'll see. It's, it's a tough thing. It's a tough league. It's just an absolutely tough thing to make a pro team of any time. I mean, it's just crazy how hard that is to do that. Oh, MK, I was gonna tell you something. I can't remember what it was. It was something I was talking about earlier tonight, and I just can't remember what it was. But yeah, give it to us.
Second period, lightning 3.
Ay, baby.
And in the bottom of the third, it's Boston 6.
Woo! Oh boy, sports radio tomorrow will be going crazy. I mean, but you know what? Sports radio loves that. They absolutely, when the Yankees loaded with this staff and loaded with these players struggle, sports radio just loves that. I mean, they can't get enough of that. It's great for that kind of thing. But I just don't have fans panicking and stuff over it's April. It's April 10th or 11th or 12th, whatever it is. So it just, I don't pay attention to much of that until then. Gosh, I wish I remember what I was going to ask you. I know I was going to ask you. How was your Easter? That's what I meant to ask you.
Oh, my Easter was wonderful. Thank you very much.
That's already like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I hadn't seen. It seems like I haven't seen you in a month. So anyway, nice. Nice. A little egg hunt situation there.
No, not this time, because my in-laws had a tree fall in their yard, so no Easter egg hunt, but maybe next year.
Okay. A reminder is, you can get Talking Sports now on Facebook, and you can get Talking Sports on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel now. And don't forget that we're with you on Tuesday nights at our sister station in Somerset, New Jersey, WCTC. They're the voice of Central Jersey. Johnny's with you on every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. It's been fun. It's been a great show. You can get it on those on YouTube and Facebook and on WCTCAM.com also. Been a lot of fun. It's a different format, and the show's a tiny bit different because we have more commercial breaks and that kind of thing. But a lot of fun. And what's going to be even great for Johnny is that the Somerset Patriots, they're an independent Atlantic League team, quality baseball, by the way. Their stadium's right down the street. WCTC is the official flagship station of the Patriots. And not only do I give away tickets on the show, but I'll be doing the pregame, so to speak. In other words, on Tuesday nights, their games start at 6:30, and the show now is at 6. But on Tuesday nights, I'll be there at 5:30, get you warmed up for Somerset Patriot baseball. And if you're a family, take the kids down there. It's not far from here in Morristown. I can be in Somerset and at that stadium on a Sunday or over a weekend. You can be there in 25 minutes. It's an easy ride down 287, and great place to bring your kids. Great place to watch baseball, and it brings me back a lot of memories. I used to take my kids, and it's a shame they're not there. If my kids were listening tonight, we used to go to Newark Bear games, and it was a lot of fun. You could buy a $5 ticket. I could take everybody. It was fun. We'd sit on the on-deck circle. I saw guys like Ricky Henderson, Jose Canseco, all the washed-up major leaguers would go and play there, hoping to get another call somewhere else in Major League Baseball. And it happened a lot, by the way. It happened with some pitchers, and it happened with some of the outfielders and stuff. So, and if you like baseball, independent or minor league baseball, like the Montclair Jackals, it's a lot of fun. It's inexpensive. It's not like you're going to go to Citi Field or to Yankees and have that kind of money spent. You can't get out of there for $200 after you're done parking and stuff. So great. Okay. And so it's a lot of fun. You can really, it's a great place, and it's the kind of facilities also that you can sit and watch the game and just kind of let your kids roam, and you don't have to worry about anything. So there's something to that. And when I wanted to get out of the house at those times and keep the kids busy, I did it, and we had a lot of fun, and it was real close to our house, and I really enjoyed it. So anyway, we're going to have a great sports weekend. You got baseball, you got hockey, you got NBA, you got golf, this is right now, this part, once you got through February, which is always tough, when you get to that point, then you know that you got a lot of sports going on, and it's one of my favorite times of the year, no doubt about that. So anyway, so I hope everybody has a safe weekend. Don't forget, we'll be with you on Tuesday nights at the sister station WCTC 1450, the voice of Central Jersey, and we'll see you then. You'll get us on Facebook, you get us online, and you can get us on YouTube. All right, looks like we're coming to the end. I want to thank MK, who always does a great job. I want to thank. Hi, this is Jonathan Friedman. You might know me as the host of Talking Sports here on WMTR. But I do have a day job. I'm the business development director at SCG Advertising and Public Relations in Parsippany, and I'd like to tell you about how SCG can help advertisers reach their potential customers in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. Facebook listeners, thank you so much for watching and watching. Love your support. YouTube listeners, if we had any yet, we'll be with you on Tuesday night. Thanks again, everybody. See you then. We help our clients strengthen their relationships, reputations, and brands by integrating their message across the entire media spectrum. We understand the options available to advertisers